What the fuck did I just watch? Fucking rocks. Can't wait for them to finish their shit upstairs. Better go make this fucking vlog and get it over with. Where's the Bizarro critic when you need him? Or anyone else for that matter. Okay, lights all plugged in and ready to go. Okay, camera's ready to shoot the couch. And lights. What the hell? What the fuck? Ah! Yo! Snark Spy? Snark Spy! The fellow reviewer and friend that I mentioned back in our second commercial.
Thanks for the exposition.
Where the hell have you been, dude? We've been trying forever to reach you.
Not important. Just don't look at the Milky Way too closely.
Okay, whatever. I mean, it's just great to see you. Where's your cool spy outfit, man? You look dorkier than usual.
It's hot. It's in the middle of summer.
Since when do you give a shit about heat?
Since always?
I mean, come on. If the Fiend fellow can stand anything, shouldn't you be able to? Special character we will eventually have on here, too.
Thanks to the lampshade hanging.
Where's all your cool weapons and gears, and your power gun, or your spy gun, or whatever? Did the Fiend fellow take that away from you, too?
It's nothing all that dramatic. I just figured business casual. Or just casual. But the Fiend fellow is a weirdo by our standards. Don't nuts. To use him as an example for all of us.
You're both weird.
Not by our standards.
I can't believe I ever missed you.
Thank you for admitting that you missed me.
Okay, so what are you doing here?
Well, I heard that you went to see the live-action Aladdin remake. I went to go see it as well. Figured, why not make a vlog about it?
Did the Bizarro critic tip you off?
Nah, I haven't really been in contact with him that much.
Okay, well, the Bizarro critic wouldn't join up with me. Fucking asshole, had to endure this stupid shit by myself. Wait, were you in the theater with me?
Maybe.
Huh. I thought I smelled an anime hippie nearby.
Was me.
Since I got nobody else to do a freaking vlog with, you want to help out? The world can finally know who you are.
Sure.
No more diddly-daddling. Let's get this vlog up and going right now. Or I'll go get the vlog set up right now. Well, hello everybody. I am the Spearman, the embracer of human good and analyst of fiction. And welcome to another one of my spirit vlogs. And today, I have a very special guest with me from beyond the otaku stars is the Snark Spy.
Yo, name's Snark Spy. I'm an anime fan, an extraordinaire, and someone who I believe might have a different opinion on you on this movie.
Oh God. I mean, yeah, in case you couldn't tell by the title or whatever, this is about the recently released Disney hit, if you can even call it much of a hit yet, of the live-action Aladdin remake. And my God, this was so stupid. This was worse than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to turn out really good. With all the trailers and stuff, you know, I wasn't too excessively hyped or anything, but I thought, this looks pretty solid, this looks pretty good. It's going to be as good as, like, Jungle Book or the Cinderella remake, and, I'm trying to think of other remakes I liked off the top of my head, but, I mean, not like Beauty and the Beast, which you You just told me just before we started here you actually really liked the Beauty and the Beast remake.
I did not.
Huh?
I didn't. Honestly, to me, that's one of the worst ones. It's just like, that one's just kind of lazy.
No shit. And lazy kind of feels like the theme of this one. But I mean, when it started out, I thought, you know what, they're trying a tad a bit better than the Beauty and the Beast remake with this. But then, as it wore on, this just got really stupid for me. And I'm surprised that it wasn't so stupid for you. I mean, this isn't as good as Maleficent, and I really like Maleficent.
No, I really haven't seen Maleficent.
Well, you should.
I'm not. I haven't really watched any live action Disney remakes since technically, I guess the 102 Dalmatians isn't technically a remake, but still, that was the last one I saw that I pretty much enjoyed. And I haven't seen most of the latest live action Disney remakes. Beauty and the Beast is kind of a given, but that's mostly because that one's just a shot-for-shot remake of the Beauty and the Beast. It's original with all of the soul ripped out.
I totally agree with the whole shot-by-shot thing, but in comparison with this, they at least tried to have the same impact, essence, if I'm saying that right, or whatever, but, and in regards to Maleficent, if the Bizarro critic was here, he would definitely try to kill me again, because he fucking hates that movie just like the rest of the world, but I think it's a damn good film. I think it provides some major improvements in comparison to a very shitty original film from the 50s that I fucking hate so much, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, there's this one, and technically there's more good than bad, but it's still on a low scale in my book, and
it's average. The movie's nothing special. Doesn't even reach the peaks of the original Aladdin, but believe me, it is not the worst thing I've seen.
Okay, so just like in the Marvel-thon vlogs that I've had with the Bizarro Critic, and for those of you who are wondering, the rest of them are coming very soon. I am very, very sorry that they've been delayed for so long. So just like in the Marvel-thon vlog videos, we're going to go back and forth between explaining the plots and then wrapping up our thoughts near the end of the vlog. So, do you want to start out, Snark Spy, since you're the special guest, or...?
Yeah, I think I can do that, because, honestly, the beginning actually has a couple of fun little changes that I kind of liked.
Okay, well, why the hell not? I mean, I couldn't disagree with that more, but...
I mean...
Let's get us started, Snark Spy.
Honestly, the framing device, instead of the salesman that's trying to who sell you the lamp because oh hey, it's a super special lamp and I haven't been able to sell you anything else it's instead the genie years later telling his kids about how he and their mother were met and about his best friend Aladdin. That's honestly kind of a decent change, and changes the context of the story, honestly. The next bit is a fairly simple one. We meet Jasmine, we meet Aladdin, in Will Smith can carry something of a tune, so at the very least, is him singing Arabian Nights was pretty fun.
Okay.
Next up after we are introduced to Aladdin and Jasmine, we have the pretty famous it's One Jump Ahead song, which honestly it had a nice bit of energy. He included Jasmine in it and kind of played into who a sort of pseudo theme they were going for is just like doing things despite you being scared or despite it being a daunting task. Honestly, it's keeping up with the good theming.
I will say, despite my own complaints, there were definitely things about the opening minutes of this movie, like the first 20-ish or so minutes, that definitely had a lot more of a promise to me. But keep going on a little bit more.
Well, one particularly interesting change is Jasmine introduces herself as Dahlia, whom is her handmaiden, whom is a new character original to his movie, which honestly, no character. She fits the good secondary best friend. And Moles wasn't an annoying character, or at least he said. And then Aladdin doesn't realize at this point that Jasmine is the princess, which honestly gets his hopes up, because now it's just like, oh, hey, I might have the chance with the princess's handmaiden, which, hey, that works with it. He accidentally steals a bracelet after Abu steals it from her. And when he takes it back, Jafar catches him.
Right, and then this is where I'll take over for now. Jafar, after capturing Aladdin and taking him out to the desert, he tells him flat out that the girl you've been associating yourself with is the real princess, and did you think she would ever fall in love with you and stuff? And I will admit that's an interesting idea of changing things from the original movie, among other things, because I mean, as much as I really liked the cartoon film, and I rewatched it again about a year or two back, as much as I liked the original cartoon film, it did have a bunch of major problems. One of the biggest in regards to the main character, Aladdin himself, because I just found, I mean, I still really liked him, but there were certain flaws about his character that were very excessive to me, especially in regards to how he views Jasmine. Because in the original cartoon film, he goes on this little adventure with Jasmine without realizing who she is, and then when she reveals who she is, he just assumes that everything was a lie.
Well, he assumes that he's too good for him. He kind of goes into a self-loathing. He doesn't assume that everything was a lie. He just basically was just like, she's just humoring me.
But I really like to hear where Jafar's the one who manipulates
Aladdin.
Who manipulates Aladdin into thinking that she didn't give a care about him, but that Jafar can reward can reward Aladdin with her if he helps him out with the Cave of Wonders and all, and they
giving up a little bit of a bit to his backstory, just like Jafar was originally a thief like Aladdin, establishing a sort of connection between the two.
Right, and then they go to the Cave of Wonders, where Jafar is the one who gives the exposition stuff about go in and take the lamp, but take nothing but the lamp, don't touch anything but the lamp.
Well, yeah, that was Jafar in the original, just now he's not using a spell to make himself look like someone else.
It wasn't even a spell, it was just a disguise with makeup and wigs and stuff.
It was a disguise spell. He looked nothing like Jafar. He was a lot shorter in the original movie. I've seen it recently, and believe me, he looked a lot different.
Alright, and then in the Cave of Wonders especially was one of the many disappointing things about this movie, because it's literally a cave, like on the side of a big freaking mountain. It's not this giant tiger head that rises out of the desert sand and speaks to you like a tiger head would if it was a talking tiger. That would have been really cool to see that made for live action. But no, somebody thought, no, we'll just have a tiger head on the side of a mountain for the Cave of Wonders that opens up and closes and stuff. And we'll just have the eyes glow and the mouth glow whenever it talks. The diamond and the rough. Now, Jafar, give me some exposition that I don't need to say. Because that's unique and effective somehow.
I mean, he gives the warning of don't touch anything but the lamp in the original.
Yes, but not here. No, Jafar does.
No, Jafar said that in the original.
Yeah, but not in the sense that if you touch anything but the lamp, you'll die. You're fucked.
I mean, no one says that in the original, so... Oh.
But the Cave of Wonders does.
It does not.
Damn it.
It's been a while since you've seen the movie, so you don't know a couple of details. It's like Jafar specifically says it is only touch the lamp, nothing else.
Well, whatever. The cave, the cave itself is not that impressive, especially since compared to the original. We did get to see at least a few rooms or so before getting to the lamp. You know, Aladdin and Abu don't spend too much time in these rooms, but it's all really cool stuff, including the golden room where all this golden stuff is lying around, and Abu was tempted to take it, and it was that golden room where they found the magic carpet. But of course here, to save up on time and budget, they had it where the magic carpet was already in the first giant room they could get to. Or it was like literally the next room over where it was all these treasures lying around and such. Though I will admit, like the whole thing where like there were treasures hidden, like before they got to the big room right next to the first one, there were these treasures hidden around these rocks and stuff to like tempt you and stuff, and they did work on Aladdin briefly where he almost took the treasure and stuff, but Abu stopped him. And
then of course Aladdin actually helps the carpet it out from underneath a rock, which honestly shows his compassion and kindness. Good establishing character moment.
And then of course we have Aladdin go up all these rocks to get to the lamp, and as he takes the lamp, Abu spots the same big red jewel. It's like the big red jewel's its own character saying, "Yes, I'm in this movie too." Just like in the original.
Yeah.
And Abu takes it, and then the cave comes crashing down.
Well,
and
this time around, and Aladdin accidentally dislodges it down while he was climbing. And Abu kind of slides. I'd mess up. Abu just kind of catches it. He wasn't trying to take it, he just caught it. And while he was certainly tempted after he touched it, he definitely was not going for touching the ruby at first.
Okay, and as they're about to leave the caves, like to get the hell out of there because it's coming down or whatever, and lava's getting everywhere, and the magic carpet is about to get them out. More or less, I think they like lose it at one point, like they did in the cartoon.
Rocks at the magic carpet, and he gets flung to the base of the thing.
And then, we have that moment where like Jafar demands the lamp to save Aladdin, and of course, when Aladdin gives the lamp, Jafar's like, "How about a foot?" Nah, isn't that better? Like, remember how in the cartoon they were willing to go so far as to have the old man about to kill Aladdin with a fucking dagger?
Your eternal reward!
Let's not do that here. No, let's just have Jafar stamp on his feet. Because censorship.
Well, no.
Modern censorship.
I don't believe that's censorship. That's just like they establish that he's doing what he can to just not put as much effort into it, do it as he needs to. He's very pragmatic. He doesn't need to stab the dude. He just needs to stamp his smash his fingers and let him fall, because why bring a knife to kill this guy when I can just do the bare minimum.
Well, then, of course, Abu takes the lamp back from Jafar without Jafar realizing it until it's too late. But Aladdin, and that would be hilarious if Jafar was trapped in with them, like, fuck!
I mean...
Aladdin and Abu are now trapped in the cave of the magic carpet. And then, lo and behold, who comes? This is where Snark Spy takes over again.
Honestly, Aladdin rubs the lamp, and Will Smith's genie comes out. And he definitely does bring a bit of charisma in it.
Yeah.
We get the whole never had a friend like me, which it definitely did have a few creative bits of it, and really had sold the Broadway showing sort of thing.
That's definitely what this movie felt like, was the Broadway play and the Disney California Adventure play. Keep going.
But yeah, so much like in the original version, Aladdin tricks the genie into getting him out of the cave without using up one of his wishes, which honestly, he really was a fun little bit of a tricky. Instead of saying you couldn't do this, is you aren't doing it. Just like they establish that you need to actually rub the lamp, you have to actually get a wish, and Aladdin never rubs the lamp, even though he says, "I wish I would without you," which, I mean, sleight of hand. Yeah, it's not as, it's just as clever, just not as wordplay clever.
Clever as what?
As the original, where he just plays on the genie's ego, which, now that I'm thinking about it, the original genie didn't have much of an ego, while this one did have something of an ego.
Yeah.
And then, after they get out, and it's revealed to the genie that Aladdin, he managed to get the whole thing.
While watching it in the movie theater with us.
Yeah. That was actually, I kind of like that guy.
Yeah.
And he reminded the movie a little, and just watched. Beep. Yeah. Next. And then, when we get to the thing of Aladdin wanting to be a prince, with the genie actually bring up a nice little thing for later, or gray areas, as where you have to be specific in saying what you want, or else the genie can do whatever the heck he wants with your wish.
That's what you got out of it?
Well, yeah, that's exactly how it goes. Simple establishing a monkey's paw system. Like if you're not specific in what you want, the genie can twist the wish in any way as he wants. So something like that. What did you think about it?
First of all, if I got a bit of Fairly Odd Parents flashbacks there, I thought it was just a lazy way of having it where they could cheat around things like they did in the original film. Because another big problem I had with the original film was the genie's constant cheating, where, like, even though all Aladdin says is... Fuck, I just realized this kind of works in with your argument. Where Aladdin says, "I wish you to make me a prince," the genie just does whatever the hell he wants and literally just makes shit out of nowhere, to make him a prince. Which doesn't fit in with the whole wordplay and stuff there. And at first, here in this movie where Genie does bring that up, you need to be specific by what you say. I thought, okay, they are addressing this problem from the original movie where, even though Aladdin wasn't specific enough to have it where Genie could do all this random stuff to make him a prince, to make people believe he was a prince and all that, but then Aladdin, in this one, Aladdin literally just says, "I wish to become a prince," and it's like
I wish for you to turn me into a prince.
in this one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he said become, but it was like a step higher and.
In specificity.
Okay, you could argue that this fits in with your whole idea, the whole thing of the genie can twist things and all that, but still, like, this just got a lot more confusing.
I mean, that's a part of genie mythology for a while now. That's not something that this movie made up. That's an actual genie thing that they ignored in the original cartoon version.
Okay. Keep going on a bit more. Like, he makes his wish to become a prince, right? And then
We have a scene where your genie actually struggles with actually getting him an actual good outfit. Oh, also establishing that a genie can make himself look human and even has more humanoid form to make him appear to be human, which establishes is the eventual plot trajectory he's gonna go.
well, he did appear human in the cartoons, not as much.
Yeah. Right. Another bit that we completely skipped over. We are actually introduced to Dahlia as a character prior to this.
Didn't you say that Dahlia pretended to be the princess?
No, I did not actually get that point.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually have a little joking scene where Dahlia has to pretend to be Jasmine while Jasmine pretends to be Dahlia for a quick scene, which, okay, but I thought they were going to do a bit more with that, but what they did with it was at least funny enough.
In a really awkward way.
I mean, awkward humor is the name of the game for this thing. Not all the jokes land.
Alright, so now we're at the parade. They have a big parade, and they do the whole Prince Ali song that we loved so much from a cartoon. And it's nowhere as good, but I still enjoyed it, at least what they were trying to do with it. I mean, I guess my first major complaint with it, especially in regards to how this was actually leaked onto YouTube before the movie's premiere, was that the genie did not take on the forms of these different humans to spread these false stories about Prince Ali's greatness, where he's like an old man who's saying, he faced the galloping hordes. He's a little kid, and the next second, 100 bad guys with swords, and he's this big punk.
Who's in the boots there, Lord, like Prince Ali.
Yeah, this big fat dude who's so happy.
Yeah, instead this time he has as backup singers, which, I mean, it makes sense if there was a bunch of other people that the genie would be the only one singing, and just like he's showing off.
Yeah. I guess with the song itself, I liked how they were trying to, they were recreating it, but not overdoing whatever they were doing to modernize it per se.
Yeah, that went for the credits.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Already forgot about that, but you just had to remind me. It's the same.
Hey, it's a part of the movie. It is probably the worst part of the movie.
It's not as bad as the infamous Digi-Rap of Legends. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Just do not bring that. You don't have to bring that up every time with me.
When did I bring it up every time?
I'm sure that you brought it up at least once before now.
Whatever. After the whole parade scene and stuff, with Prince Ali and all that, we come to what is quite possibly the worst part, the absolute worst part of this movie, was the jams scene. I mean, like, what the fuck was that all about? Like, Aladdin was being so pathetic. Like, I mean, being improv is not an easy thing to do, but here, he was just fucking terrible, and it was so cringing and stale. I just sat there, like, wanting to look away, like, what the hell are you doing, man? And the fact that Genie keeps, like, whispering random, useless, helpless shit to you, that doesn't help. as the word implies.
Mm.
And it was both funny and pathetic how Aladdin accidentally says, "I want to buy you," to Princess Jasmine, and I was like, fuck.
I mean, they kind of combined the scene where he later is just so you want on 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 to see, so you see me as a prize. You want me to be a you want me as an object sort of thing, like in the original, and just like kind of move that up a bit to when, and he's actually first meeting her with first impressions sort of thing, which would have been the time that she would have done it. Oh, another thing, establish that as Genie's magic makes it so that unless you figure it out you cannot tell that Aladdin and Prince Ali are the same guy.
Because I'm sure plenty of people complained over the years about why isn't Aladdin recognized when he's Prince Ali in the original cartoon? Well, because he's wearing the big fucking turban that covers his hair and gives a completely different image of him apart from his regular self.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the things. It's like, but now it's unambiguous as that, yeah, Jasmine just wasn't paying much attention to Prince Ali. Yeah, that's why she didn't realize. Now there's an actual in-universe reason.
Ironically enough, Jasmine may be the best part of this movie, but that's only saying so much considering what a mess I think this movie is. I mean, the beginning parts, she's, how do I put it, free-spirited and all that, and
she's free-spirited. She actually wants to be Sultan herself, as opposed to...
Yeah, I do. I really like that idea. Where in the original, she just didn't want to be royalty. Period.
She wanted to marry for love, which also in this version of it, the Sultan's actually okay with. It's just like he wants her to marry for love, and he wants her to marry to love a prince. So, hey, it's going to sort of combining those two plot points.
And there's and earlier in the film, Jafar, being the evil dude he is, he tries to hypnotize, tries to brainwash the Sultan into invading a country that happened to be the home country of Jasmine's mother, who was killed in this story, in this storyline. Did they ever say whether Jafar killed her?
They did not bring anything up about this, aside from a couple of mentions that it wasn't important in the original movie. It was not important here.
Well, I thought it was kind of a neat twist how she was killed in the story, and I was sitting there being like, and the plot thickens.
Yep, and
then but I am glad it didn't overplay it at the same time, where like, you killed my mother or something like that. But anyway, after Aladdin, long story short, after Aladdin makes a complete fool of himself, a ridiculous way. After doing that, we have the party scene where Aladdin is like forced to talk to Jasmine by Genie, and Genie's flirting with the handmaiden, and then he makes Aladdin do a dance, do a freaky dance or something.
Which also was fairly well choreographed.
Yeah, I liked it, and it just made Jasmine weirded out, like, what the hell?
Yeah, Genie even admitted he would have been too far with the backflip. Just...
Yeah, and then, and I love this part, because as we're coming up to a whole new world, first Genie in his human form distracts the handmaiden, which I'll admit was kind of a cute little moment, where he's luring her out more and more, and the handmaiden, she closes the door, looks to Jasmine, and goes, yes, I get the hot Will Smith dude, the hot black dude, and then she goes out with him, and then Aladdin sneaks in and kind of creeping out Jasmine, like, how the hell did you get in here?
Match carpet.
And then the funny thing is, I've been looking through my maps for a Babwa, which of course was sensible because she's smart, for God's sake. I mean, in the original, they played it out really well, where like nobody really cared about this Ababwa place or whatever,
Yeah.
and or where it is or whatever. And hell, Jasmine herself didn't care. As far as she was concerned, Ali was just another stupid prince until she goes on a little vacation with him. And then, but in this one, they kind of overplay the whole "is Ababwa a real thing" way too much, to a ridiculous degree, and the Sultan goes so far as to say, "New countries are being made all the time. I'm sure there's one called Ababwa now too. That just got established last week. I hear there's some US of A that's going to be made soon. I'm sure nothing will go wrong there." And
they didn't go that far.
I'm just saying. Okay, and then like Jasmine has her whole moment of, you get to see more of the world than I do in a whole lifetime.
Oh,
and
right. Now the real thing, Rajat actually likes Aladdin, and when he first sees it, it's like,
oh yeah, Raja was scary in this movie.
it's a tiger.
Yeah, well, he had his fierce moments in the cartoon too, but yeah, I liked it how he's inspecting Aladdin and licks him and stuff. And this is like, this scene and the party scene beforehand, those are the only two scenes where Jasmine actually wears her iconic blue-green dress from the cartoon. Hell, it's probably one of the only times where Aladdin wears his iconic Prince Ali outfit from the film, from the original cartoon. And let's see here. So Ali convinces her to go on a trip with him, and you think you're going to have, similar to With a Friend Like Me, I mean, when it came to the song A Friend Like Me, I could tell they were trying really hard to be as special, as energetic and imaginative as the original cartoon number was, but it just did not reach that for me. It didn't even come close. And Will Smith, I could tell he was trying, but like, similar
there was effort put in at the very least.
Yeah, similar to Emma Watson and other things and other live action remakes, they just did not put enough time, effort, and direction into it, I feel. But then we have a whole new world, and my God, it was just disappointing, because they never leave Agrabah. They just go around different areas of it, and like, it's very dark, like unreasonably dark. I mean, yes, it's nighttime and stuff, but you still need to actually be able to see them as they go on a magic flying carpet ride, like how in the original, the lighting was dim enough so that it felt like night, and you were on this wondrous night adventure, but you could still see Aladdin and Jasmine and the carpet as clear as day.
Well, yeah, the big thing is just like, they now can't go to China, Greece, and the savannah like in the original movie.
Why not? That was what was so great about that number, was that they were literally going around the world. It was like around the world in 8 minutes or whatever, or longer, because you could argue that they must have been on a longer trip than the song would suggest.
I mean, I'm just gonna say they did a decent enough job with it. There's more interesting visuals in the cartoon, but they, at the very least, tried their best to, at the very least, keep the emotional weight of it. And just like the darkness is like kind of does a lot of sort of they aren't supposed to be doing this, but they're enjoying this anyways.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the cartoon it was a beautiful scene. The song itself was beautiful, even though, ironically enough, it was only 2 or 2.5 minutes. And, it felt magical and stuff. And then here, like, again, they never go anywhere else. They only go to certain spots, and it's very incredibly underwhelming. And then they just stop over, I can't remember, I don't know if it's like in front of the palace, which they already were at, or in a marketplace nearby.
Right above Aladdin's abode.
Yeah, and then to my amazement, we actually have that scene where where Jasmine figures out who Aladdin is. I was thinking that they weren't actually going to do that, given what they were setting up here. But
they pretty much set up the thing and just like, do you trust me? Yeah, just like, she realized Aladdin said that to me, and then she kind of tricks him, and honestly, she kind of does the whole Aladdin and genie trick from the Cave of Wonders thing here, where she's like, is that Abu? Oh no, Abu's not here. That's not. And it's just like, oh, that is clever.
No, I mean, first of all, she says that line of all the places we've been in, this is the best. What places? We never left Agrabah. We never left here. You've literally just been in the same places, pretty much in the same places you've seen recently when you were sneaking around the city.
Well, now she has a better review. Just like, that's starting off the whole oh, hey, you show me this city, you sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess I didn't just see the city a couple days ago. She should be like, the carpet ride made it cooler, but I already saw the city, dude. You know. Anyway.
Wow. Aren't you a romantic?
Oh, shut up. And then Jasmine tries to rub it in his face of how, so are you Prince Aladdin or whatever, and then he does that same stupid shit like he did in the cartoon, which I hated so much. I mean, this was one of my favorite scenes in the cartoon, but at the same time it was very polarizing for me looking back on it, because I don't care about the pacing of the movie or whatever. He really should have just fessed up. I just feel like in a
I mean, it's established that he has low self-esteem, so he lies. Like, knee-jerk reaction oh no, I pretend to be a commoner, or to be instead of being a prince, to get to know people. It's just like, okay, that's,
and then
that's established in his character.
He convinces her that sneaking among the commoners to get away from royal life, that sounds a bit crazy, don't you think? It's not that crazy. I'm like, when I was watching that scene again, I'm like, come on, you can't honestly be buying this, can you? Sure she can.
I mean,
and she was doing so well beforehand, back in the cartoon, not in this one, because in this one it was played out nowhere as good. Where like in the cartoon she was a lot more clever, being like, by the way, why do this at a fireworks show in China when we can just do it in the same places in Agrabah that we've already seen in this movie? So she's like, too bad Abu couldn't join up. He hates fireworks. He doesn't like dragons so much either. Wait, what? Oh no! And then Jasmine gets it in his face, saying, I knew it! You are him! Why did you lie to me? Did you think I was stupid? No! Did you think I wouldn't figure it out? Like, I loved I loved moments like that. That were quickly turned shit side.
I mean,
seconds
Maya
later.
reveals like something that's common in both versions, and even in this one, and he's just like on the moment lying, and now he can actually go and he actually connects his whole reason for why he would be snaking around as a commoner as opposed to the original, where he didn't actually give an explanation for why he was a commoner. He just says, I like to be a commoner sometimes.
Okay, whatever. Then, and then lastly, before I turn the plot back to you, we have this little moment where, Aladdin and Jasmine are both talking to their besties about what their time was like with the other person, even, which is incredibly awkward because the whole New World sequence itself was just not that impressive, not that well written in my eyes, but it just amazed me just as much when they try to be different by having the BFF talk with Jasmine about what just happened, and that Jasmine's like, he told me that he dresses as a commoner to fit in with the locals, and he's still a prince. And I totally buy that. I buy that more so much here than I did in the cartoon.
Well, no, the friend implies that she's basically lying to herself. Like, she wants to believe him.
Which she kind of did in the cartoon, which was really weird.
Yeah, see?
And then the genie, tells off Aladdin again, like, you need to be yourself. Stop doing this whole shit, or you're just gonna lie to her for the rest of your life, or whatever. But
he's saying that the power is going to his head, which he actually implies earlier in the movie. It's like, doesn't mean that a lot of his previous masters did. They went crazy with power.
Right, okay, but, so I think we're, at the end of the second act, or so. So then you take over from here, what happens next with Jafar and all that?
Well, Jafar captures Aladdin, saying...
And Aladdin's like, not again.
Which, funny line.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't meant to be funny, but it was funny. Man. And Jafar, ties him to a chair. Asks, where's the lamp? Which, honestly, I'm somewhat wondering, is Aladdin supposed to be when did Aladdin use the second wish in the original?
In the original, after he's thrown in with, chained up to a ball or whatever, giant ball, he gets knocked out. I can't remember if he was trying to get the lamp or not. But he does pass out, and he incidentally rubs the lamp, and the genie's taking a shower. When he comes out, he looks over and he's like, Al? Look, Al, you can't, I can't just give you another freebie. You have to say, Genie, I wish for you to save my life. He says a little other thing here or there, and then Aladdin nods or whatever, even though he clearly didn't, and then Genie's like, that's good enough for me. Okay, rescue! Takes him out of there, and that was his second wish, even though Aladdin never got to say his second wish, and the genie basically cheated again.
That's the first time that the genie actually cheats. That's the only time that the genie cheats. When did he cheat any other time?
I still am not convinced that the whole wording of Aladdin's first wish was good enough for Genie to do whatever the hell he wanted.
Well, that's not Genie cheating, that's Aladdin cheating.
How's that Aladdin cheating?
Because Aladdin tricked him into saying his wish when he wasn't actually doing the wish.
But that was before the Prince wish.
Well, yeah, but
okay, whatever. You get back to this movie with him drowning and stuff, which plays almost exactly like the original cartoon, ironically enough.
Except the genie instead gets a written contact thing and just signs his name. It's just okay, that's good enough.
I can't decide which was stupider. I'll probably still stick with the original cartoon. Keep going.
Okay, after that, Jafar is ousted as being a traitorous vizier. Here, Aladdin notices that at Jafar's staff is allowing him to control the Sultan's mind. Actually, one thing is he skipped over the Jafar wanting to marry his way into the Sultan position and thing.
But you're so old. The princess will marry me.
Yeah, I'm just okay, yeah, I could see he's something I could see the change. I could skip over that bit. It's essentially the same bit a bit later.
What happens next?
And Jafar, using the help of Iago, who doesn't say as much as the cartoon Iago, but...
Because he's not a glorified Gilbert Gottfried character.
Yeah. he talks more like a parrot, actual parrot, and he's actually a fairly effective minion in this one.
Yeah.
He gets him a key, and then Jafar, and then Aladdin and Genie have that big like arguments. In the original, Aladdin decides I'm just gonna take a walk back to my old place.
Again, I can't decide which is stupider. Because that was stupid in the original too, but...
I mean, in the original, he just leaves the lamp in the room and Jafar sneaks in.
No, I just mean the argument scene with the genie, where he refuses to free Genie from his lamp. But we keep going for the plot. We're almost to the climax.
Yep.
Climax, I should say.
It's a climax.
Let's keep going.
So yeah, as we keep going, we see Jafar's old MO when he was a thief. He'd stay in a place with lots of cloths that he can hide behind, right? And while no one was looking, and they're distracted by the flowing cloths of going through them, he snags their valuables, which honestly was pretty clever of him. Just going back to what he knew before he was the vizier.
Yeah.
He then goes back to the palace, and just like in the original, uses his wish to become sultan. In the head of the guard is very loyal to the sultan. Is like, I have to do that. And Jafar.
Yes, and now all of a sudden we have this whole thing with this guy Hajim. Like, he was such a special character because he barely was on screen. He barely had any lines, but now it's this whole thing of who's he really loyal to. And
I mean, they established him earlier as the king. Right, he was a recurring extra.
And then like Jasmine has her song Speechless. I mean, I liked it a lot better when it was reprised because I think it was longer. Like when she first sings it, it's literally like barely a minute or so, if even that. And then here it's like a full couple of minutes, which was a huge improvement.
Yeah, honestly,
it was a good performance and all that, but it was also really awkwardly used.
Yeah, they were trying to do another Let It Go. They've been trying to recapture that.
Really? I didn't see it like that, but oh my god.
She did the this motion in like in Let It Go, dude. Believe me, they are trying to. They are really trying to get another Let It Go going.
Wait, because we didn't get enough of that, and yeah, Disney is much more desperate than I thought. If that's really the case.
Yeah, Frozen 2 coming out soon.
That actually looks really good, but whatever. Okay, now in this climax, Jafar unmasks Prince Ali, and it's so dramatic and so...
Well, prior to that, he makes the second witch become the most powerful sorcerer in the world.
Right, and which is just as effective as in the cartoon.
Well, now we just and
he
realizes
he doesn't sing the Prince Ali reprise, which was one of the best parts of the original cartoon. That was practically the perfect way to begin the climax, which was, "Oh princess, there's someone I'm dying to introduce you to, Prince Ali. Yes, it is he, but not as you know him."
Yeah, I mean, they still play the chorus of the song on while
really?
They do. Except more menacingly. Yeah, they reprised the orchestrals of the song during the scene. I actually thought that was a pretty good subtle allusion to the original.
So then Aladdin is banished to the ends of the earth with Abu, but the magic carpet does a thing where he signals to the genie, "Send me there, send me there." Where in the original cartoon he was sent there, conveniently enough, with Aladdin and Abu, and they had to dodge this giant tower that came with them, that they were launched on. But here, the genie just ascends the carpet there to Aladdin, and so they can make their way back to Agrabah. And I guess it must have happened like minutes later because everybody. No. They have their wedding. They're about to have a wedding. They actually about to have this wedding with Jafar and Jasmine. I can't believe I was thinking this when we were seeing this in the theater, but I'm like, I'm actually missing the slave outfit from the cartoon film.
I mean, yeah, slave outfit looked fairly cute. But honestly, probably wouldn't fly nowadays.
Come on. It's not Princess Leia's slave outfit bad.
Covered up pretty much the name amount.
Okay, so...
I mean, now that I think about it, it was basically just her regular blue outfit, just red.
And then, so then Aladdin comes and interrupts the wedding somehow. I can't remember.
Well, Jasmine grabs the lamp, and I mean, she sees Aladdin and flying by. I sees her a moment and takes the lamp, jumps off, and it's sort of like allusion back to when Aladdin did the same thing on the Autonomous World thing.
Right, and then
giant chase.
Like Jafar turns Iago into a giant parrot, which actually was clever since he's the most powerful sorcerer in the world.
Yeah, why would he get his hands dirty?
But then
I mean, it's like not as intimidating as a giant snake, or not as memorable. It's just like,
well, yeah.
Iago is now established to be his right hand and actual parrot.
That's the whole thing with this climax. This climax is so dull. It's so tedious and slow paced. Like I just sit in there like, is this seriously how we're doing this? And Jafar was already boring enough in the earlier parts of the film. Let him go batshit crazy now, like he did in the cartoon. Where like, it was almost like it was leading up to it because like throughout most of the film he's pretty calm and collected for the most part, getting angry and dramatic when he needs to.
With the establishment of your number two, yeah, that was a huge reserve button for him.
Oh yeah, and then when Aladdin shows up and the final fight ensues, Jafar loses his shit and goes batshit crazy, going, "You! How many times do I have to kill you, boy?" And then he's like literally pulling off killer blows left and right, taking Abu down, taking the magic carpet down, taking this other guy down, and being the master of puns at the same time. Things are unraveling fast now, boy!
Yeah.
I'm done toying around!
Yeah, they kind of they gotta make him a more calmer villain. He's less fun, but more effective at the very least.
No. He is nowhere as effective as he was in the original. In the climax of the original, it was terrifying, it was intense. Terrifying on a kid's level. On a kid's movie level. Like, this guy is fucking unstoppable. Like, there's even more they could have done with him, but what they did here was pretty damn incredible. And, Aladdin stands up to him saying, "You're too afraid to fight me yourself, you cowardly snake," and then he makes himself into a big snake. Here, he barely does shit. The most he does is turn Iago into a giant monster, which, yeah.
He also thumbs up a tornado.
Right, but, anything else?
Tornado.
Sending people to the dungeon, yeah, that was fine.
He got a staff back, which honestly was kind of one of those ones.
Use the Force, Jafar.
Yeah,
the dogs.
Yeah, the Sultan knocks the staff out of his hand. He's like, "You're nothing without your staff." He's just like, no.
Sultan's like, "God damn it!"
But honestly, he's not as fun. But
then the disappointment comes full circle, where like Aladdin tricks him into not even necessarily becoming a genie, but I'm like, well, first of all, Genie catches on what Aladdin's going for, but like Genie's like, like, why would we have it? Whereas in the original, the Genie was getting the shit scared out of him, and the being scared shitless came full circle when Jafar tells him, "Make me the most powerful and all-powerful Genie." Why would we do that where, like, the genie can figure it out here, and then Jafar literally says, I wish to be the most powerful being in the universe. That's a very specific thing to be. He's basically asking to be God. God.
No, that's not as specific as you think. The most powerful thing in the universe is, as far as Jafar knows, the genie is the most powerful thing in the universe.
That's what you got out of it?
Well, no, it's just like Genie even calls out. There's a lot of gray area in being the most powerful thing in the world.
You gotta be kidding me! Like, oh my god! If that was what they were going for, why didn't they be more clever with hinting, with alluding to it and stuff? But whatever. He says, "I wish to be the most powerful being in the universe," which of course, being is being a genie, and even though he's bigger, he's not that impressive looking. He's just literally just himself.
Except red.
Red and slightly more intimidating.
He's extremely muscular, which is exactly like the Jafar from the original cartoon.
Yes, but he was humongous. He was like at least dozens, maybe literally hundreds of feet tall. And, like, he seemed to have it all for that moment, and the music was fantastic and stuff, but then Aladdin abruptly ended it quite cleverly with the magic lamp and, the shackles on Jafar and stuff, but here it's like, you wish for this, Jafar, you did this is your shit, and, like, Jafar's like, I won't forget you, boy, I will come back, I'll have my revenge or whatever. I'm like, don't make a fucking sequel, please. Don't make a fucking sequel to this.
I mean, they did have a sequel.
Yes, and as far as I'm concerned, that was handled a lot better, especially in regards to Return of Jafar. I know a lot of people hate that movie. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember it was pretty good, despite the animation being so much cheaper and stuff.
And no longer having Robin Williams.
Well, he didn't want... He severed his ties with Disney for a long time at that point before coming back to be Genie again. But I liked how in The Return of Jafar, the cartoon, Aladdin had no idea that Jafar was even back until the worst possible moment when he was about to be executed, and Jasmine shows Jafar's face to him, and Aladdin is terrified and tries to call him out, but nobody believes him. Like, I thought that in particular really stood out to me. I thought, you know what, that among other things in that movie was really damn clever. And Jafar was manipulating things behind the scenes to get his revenge on Aladdin. But, we have this, and, like, Jafar's in his own little lamp now, and, Genie's...
He grabs Iago and pulls him back in like a...
Oh, God. Iago has that line, that parrot line of, "Goodbye, Jafar!"
"No, you bird! You're coming with me!"
Yeah, because Iago was so important here. It was just as significant.
I mean, seriously, did you not see all the extra scenes that Iago did where he was basically...
He had funny lines and stuff.
He had funny lines, and he was basically Iago's right hand. Jafar's right hand. And
Iago's right hand. And anyway, and then the Genie's like, 2,000 years in the cave, wonders loosen you up. Psh. Goes away, and then, like, Genie tries to convince Aladdin, I can either make you a prince again, or I can...
Or I can just remove the law that says, a princess must marry a prince, and it's just like, and then
Aladdin frees Genie, and, like, does that take away his powers, or is he...
He turns him human.
Apparently, I mean, I liked how in the cartoon he still had his powers, even though he...
Well, I mean, they established earlier on that Genie wanted to be human to be free. They established that earlier in the movie and the lad's like, "What would you wish for?" "I want to be free. I want to be human."
Okay. So anyway, that happens, and, like, then how's the movie? To make it painfully obvious to us what this was all leading to, they showed little bits of the same clips we saw at the very opening of the movie, and then it's to remind us that, yes, this is how it all ties in with Genie and his kids and the handmaiden Dahlia.
Well, yeah, and then of course, honestly, one thing is just like slight thing on the whole doing it this time around. I would Genie specifically. You're just like I can make you happy. Just make a wish, and Aladdin's just like oh, and then it's just like Aladdin's actually specifically giving up his chance to be with Jasmine and for Genie. Just like, okay, that's actually good. Genie, in the original, well, the whole setting Genie free was after the Sultan was just like, yeah, you can get married to Jasmine. So it's not like it is any sort of sacrifice. It's just like, yeah, this is perfect. Just like perfect, like karmatic. It's like, oh, hey, I let this power go to my head, and so now I'm just gonna be like, without any guarantee that I'm gonna get Jasmine, I'm gonna set Genie free.
Well, that actually is a good way to see it. But like they do end up together regardless, right? Isn't that? Don't we see Aladdin and Jasmine getting married
yes, but
just before the end credits start?
Well, yes, that's.
But they don't see in a whole new world, which I really liked in the original cartoon. I really wish we had seen that.
Yeah, they didn't reprise no whole new world. But yes, the big thing about and then we get the Genie like playing into the whole. Oh, hey, this is the Genie explaining how he met their mother and all that stuff.
Yes, and then we start showing some end credits.
Before that point, the Sultan gives Jasmine the Sultan ring and makes her Sultan on the spot.
Oh yes, and now Jasmine is Sultan.
And then Jasmine
it's kind of awesome. It's kind of
Jasmine
awesome.
is allowed to repeal the law, and he still has a hairband that he actually stole from her earlier with the intent that I'll give this back. Like when I see you again, she then comes out of it and says, "It's where are you going, thief? That's mine."
Yes,
just like,
that's right.
Am I in trouble? Only because you got caught. They kiss, then they get married.
And then we start seeing the end credits and
huge dance number.
Huge dance number to orchestral score, orchestral version of "Never Had a Friend Like Me." Then Genie comes to the camera saying, "You never had a friend like me," and then we get into a rap.
Yeah. First song that did not do anything. Well,
because since we're in the modern times, there has to be somebody at Disney who thinks that it's brilliant to have a rap version, a rap number.
Yeah, you're just like Whole New World just wasn't as good as the original Whole New World's old song, but no, this is like the rap.
The song itself was good and all, but it was just the execution of Aladdin and Jasmine traveling that was just incredibly weak and stuff. But yeah, so that was the live-action Aladdin remake of 2019.
Wait, we didn't actually say for our after credit scene. I kind of wonder if there was an after credit scene.
There wasn't. I looked it up. I made sure.
Okay.
Oh well. Would we even really miss much?
I don't know.
Let's see here. Yeah, we've been going out. We've been going at this for a bit more than an hour. I mean, we could go on a bit longer, but not too longer. So, I guess I'll start with my opinion. I mean, at best, this movie is okay, mediocre, but okay. I mean, I still think it got really dumber and dumber, and if I had a lot more time, and I'll probably bring some here, I could go on forever nitpicking as to what does and doesn't work in comparison to the original cartoon. The original cartoon, as great as it was, it did have major problems, major incoherencies and stuff, even for a movie of its time, even despite the cartoon physics they try to work around and such, and so on. There were definitely good ideas here, some not executed as well, but others that were executed decently. I like the idea of Jasmine just making herself Sultan, the compassion she had for her people, compassionate enough that she was confident as a strong leader. And again, I like the Speechless song. I just wish it had been utilized better and stuff. And I liked it when like she was walking around and seeing all these people disappear around her as she's singing.
Yeah, that was just like that was when I was like, oh, they're totally turning this into a Let It Go song sort of thing. It's like because they phrased the whole movie there. It's like oh hey, just a big musical number that isn't even diegetic to the story.
Okay, Dahlia was a decent character. I mean, when she first calls herself Dahlia in the opening minutes of the movie, I had no idea that was an actual person. I thought that was just a name she made up.
And then it's like, no, she's impersonating your handmaiden. No, I thought I was doing that, and she was introduced. Oh hey, there's an actual Dahlia. And then
then there was that moment where like Aladdin, well, like she pretends to be the handmaiden while Dahlia's the princess, and
yeah,
Aladdin falls for it like a moron.
Yeah, because he hadn't actually seen the princess, and he trusts Jasmine. And then of course, right when, and then it took me a few minutes. It's being like, I thought I heard her voice before, and then it got to the actual Cable Wonder scene where it's like, oh hey, she's gonna be the genie's wife. It took me that long to actually be like,
yeah, same here. I didn't. In comparison, the opening minutes were better, but that was only saying so much because right away they were rushing a lot. I mean, like they reworded this. I think they reworded like half the songs that they used from the original movie.
Yeah.
And here, like in the opening, I hated how like they just passed over the whole Cave of Wonders thing to Find Me the Diamond and the Roth, which was a much better opening scene than the original, a much better pacing, much better atmosphere and stuff. Here it's just, there's an evil guy and his evil henchmen, and they're forcing this guy in, even though the cave itself was telling them only the diamond and the rough may enter, or whatever. And it's like literally over like 5 or 10 seconds, or something along those lines.
Yeah, they brushed a couple of things, but overall, in my opinion, it was at the very least a decent enough movie. Nothing groundbreaking.
I did like how with the whole one jump ahead sequence that was actually done with Jasmine at his side. I like that.
Yeah.
And Jasmine, like he tries to tell her to jump, and then she doesn't do it, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I'm too scared." And but then we also have moments like where he bumps into a rich dude, and the rich dude literally just says all the lines from that one moment in the movie, in the original movie, where like, "You're a street rat, you'll die a street rat, and only the fleas will mourn you." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You didn't even try to recreate the pacing and the dramatic effect and stuff from the cartoon where...
I mean, it wasn't exactly all that dramatic in the original.
Yes, it was, because he ran into some kids. He was about to trample over some kids. Aladdin came to the rescue to defend the kids. They threw some remarks at each other for a good amount of seconds. Aladdin got knocked over in the mud and stuff, and he calls out to him one last time, and then the guy just looks back at him and slowly but surely says, "Tuh! You are a filthy street rat. You were born a street rat, you'll die a street rat, and the only things that will mourn you will be the fleas." And Aladdin even tries to attack him before the gates shut. And that was much better, that was much more effective. It still was pretty damn effective when I rewatched it again. And again, I could go on and on with the nitpicks. I'm like, A Friend Like Me could have been a lot better. A Whole New World was just downright flat out disappointing, but was arguably even worse was the whole climax sequence, which is just incredibly tedious and dull and nowhere as fast-paced and engaging as the cartoons was. And with the budget that this movie had, they could have made something similar, and they could have made Jafar a lot more energetic and and intimidating and stuff. Perhaps the most intimidation we got out of him was when he took the lamp, and then the moment he saw the genie, and the genie's like, "Oh shit!" Jafar has that evil laugh moment of and then it cuts to the next scene. That I thought was good, but just so much else. He's just the most generic sort of evil sorcerer bad guy. He didn't even try to hypnotize the Sultan that much in comparison to the original cartoon. He did it at least a few times early on.
Not the same amount of time, just a different context. The first time when he was trying to convince the Sultan to, both times that he was trying to.
Why did Jafar even care about invading that country? Was it just to abuse its resources? Just to
basically to establish that his rule would be one where he would get what he wanted.
On the bright side, in comparison to the cartoon, we do see a lot of Arabian actors, Middle Eastern actors, and this sort of thing.
Right. Another thing, didn't actually realize it till now. They changed the people who was like, "Oh, is that Aladdin's at the bottom?" They changed that from being a prostitute house to being school kids. You know, they were a prostitute house in the original cartoon.
I guess. Well, why couldn't they have done that here? And weren't those women like still like teenagers or something?
Well, they were little girls now.
No, I thought that at first, but then I looked at them. I'm like, no, they look like they're at least 15 or 16.
Well, they're still school children.
Like, I just remembered in one jump ahead when the cannibal woman showed up. All she did was like look at the guards. Like, still, I think he's rather tasty. Or in the cartoon, it was this big freaky woman carrying him, looking at him like, still, I think he's rather tasty.
Well, yeah. Now she's just like she's actually stopping them from actually proceeding and blocking up Aladdin and allowing Aladdin to escape and giving her reason. Oh yeah, I like Aladdin. And he's cute.
Okay, so I'm sure you're gonna keep going on to some nitpicks and stuff, but give us your overall opinion of this movie.
Overall, not as good as the cartoon. It's a decent enough movie. Of the live action movies, the changes aren't as noticeable and obtrusive to the original theme as Maleficent, and nor as insignificant or harmful to the actual message as Beauty and the Beast. The movie is a so-so, fine enough movie. Nothing special. The original's better. Or this one will probably get lost to time because it's not as good, not a classic or anything. But it's fine enough if you want a good 2 hours to kill.
Okay, you know what? Man, I want to get into more nitpicks. I probably could go on forever.
Make a video. Just do top 25 nitpicks I can make about the Aladdin live action movie? You could totally do that.
Okay. Maybe I'll fit that somewhere here, but now I'm losing enough energy, and I'm sure the Snark Spy is from all the traveling he's been having to do. But sure enough, we'll see him again soon, and yeah, thanks very much, guys, for joining us today, and thanks for being a special guest here, right out of the fucking blue.
Thank you.
Yep. What else can I say? This has been fun. The movie, while very disappointing for me, was worth a single viewing, and look forward to more upcoming movies for Spirit Vlogs and stuff soon too.
Yep.
All right. Well, this is the Spirit Man.
And the Snark Spy.
I'm wishing you all a very good day and good luck hunting for the best Disney live-action remakes, I suppose. Thanks again, Spy, for all you've done, and can't wait to have you on again or see you in the near future. All right, goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Well, thanks again for helping me out, dude.
Don't mention it. I enjoyed it.
So, how's the Fiend fellow been doing?
Honestly, I have no idea. He's been in his lab up a lot. It's either working on a Tesseract or a Doomsday device.
A doomsday device?
Just
Why?
like anything that he does, dude.
Okay, well, it's worthwhile to have a special guest once in a while for these new and upcoming movies, especially when some special guest stars like to party in LA or some shits and won't show up.
Nah, don't be too hard on him. I'm sure that he's got stuff to do.
Yeah, stuff he still doesn't tell me shit about. Yeah, I mean, it's taken this long to get you on here, dude, just for one appearance. How are your own vlogs and stuff coming along?
I got a couple of things on the workshop. Need to finalize some things.
You need some equipment or something, man?
Potentially. I'll keep you posted.
Alright, well, just don't steal anything from me, okay?
I promise I will not steal anything from you.
Wait a minute, you're not gonna sneak into my house without me knowing, are you?
No promises.
But yeah, if you need, I'll do whatever I can to help you with equipment and stuff, man. And the Bizarro Critter will be happy to help you too. In some cases, whether he likes it or not. I hope he doesn't torture you like he tries to torture me.
He won't have a chance.
Do you think you can help me get back at him for trying to feed me to his Diablo dogs again and again?
Potentially. We'll keep you posted on that.
I knew I could count on you, dude. The Fiend fellow did warn us about dangers, evil forces a while back. What are the updates about that?
Nothing so far. I've been keeping an eye on everything, but they're pretty silent. Mostly a quiet patch so far. No major activity.
Alright, it's good to know. For now, the less I know, the better, I guess. The Fiend may be the most evil bastard I've ever known, even more so than the fucking BC, but there's just something about that guy. He really looks out for us, you know? He's like a fucking big brother, homie or some shit. The best bodyguard a friend around.
We'll still be here. Don't worry about it.
Growing apart is a fucking bum. At this point, now that we finally got you back, we'll see you again, won't we?
Yeah. You'll see me again. This or the other.
I know this sounds cheesy and shit, man, but it's because of you and the Fiend fella that I even became the Spear Man in the first place. I mean, I just really appreciate. Snark Spy! Snark Spy! 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 He'll come back. We'll see him again. He'll come back. We'll see him again. Well, off I go again.